I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. I'd like to consider us a very unbiased, non-mainstream sports show. Very good personal friend of mine, Jamie Phillips, was on the show and had some special things to say about you and your organization.
Yeah,
Being
I heard it.
unbiased, I think we got to give you the floor if you'd like to respond and kind of your side of things, my friend.
You know why? God, I'm not a social media tough guy, but you know what? Jamie's good guy, really good guy. He was a good goalie. I just think maybe got him at the wrong time in his career. I think, and he said a few things himself about, almost feeling checked out. And I'd say the one thing I didn't like was when he said we were a bad team. I mean, we were challenging for the league that year. When COVID shut us down, we were, I think, 3 points off first place. Went on an absolute heater in the second part of the year. We didn't make a lot of change. And the UK, one of the challenges in the UK, is certainly as a coach, is maybe different for the coach from the complete opposite to maybe the East Coast League is. I have a good friend that's head coach in Bakersfield, Colin Chalk, and he was in Brampton one year, and I think they went through 75 players one year or something like that. We're kind of the opposite here in the UK. I think we get 4 additional cards. So you build your team. It's almost like, hey, this is your team, make it work. So you get a couple bad apples or a couple guys not, you got to find a way to get the best out of them and keep your group motivated, keep your group, there's no keeping them motivated by threatening jobs or guys coming up and down. So you got to really manage your group really, really good. So, but yeah, no, Jamie, we weren't doing great as a team by the time he had left, but I just felt we were just a goal or two off. We made the decision to let Jamie go, and then we brought in CJ Motts, and who was phenomenal for us. But I don't got a bad thing to say about Jamie. He was a good guy, good professional. He was a good goalie. Maybe just got him at the wrong time in his career. And I think the story about the equipment manager was a little bit not untrue. It wasn't that the ownership was scared or cowards. I was the coach and director of hockey ops, so it was my job to handle those situations. Now, knowing what we knew, we were a bit of a smaller budget team at Coventry, and I think what the party missed out is that his brand new pads had just arrived. I think it was that week, and I didn't like it. That was a bit of a team rule, but the proper story is that kind of negotiated to him. I think what we ended up doing was saying, because we held back, I think 2 weeks pay at the start until we cleaned up, the season or whatever, and then we'd send it to the guys. So I remember saying to him, we'll keep 1 week's pay and you can take your stuff. And I think we agreed to that in the end. It wasn't because I'm still close with the equipment manager now, and he was kind of rattled. He called me the next day. He's like, "Have you heard this fucking podcast?" I was like, no. So when I listened to it, I was like, I kind of threw him under the bus a little bit. And he, that's the story I remember that. And I understood why Jamie was upset. And, perfect world, I'd love to just be like, hey, we got to let you go, take all your stuff, see you later. You burn that. But unfortunately at that club, it wasn't the case. But I think it was more that way how it properly went. But like I said, it's I didn't like how he said we were a bad team, because we weren't. If we finished the year out of playoffs or ninth place or whatever, then, I wouldn't comment on it, but we had a good team that year.
I was going to say the one team you mentioned with the 75 guys in one season, that's almost a higher talent turnover rate than the Hooters in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the challenge those coaches have in the East Coast League, right? With, call-ups and guys coming down and stuff like that. So, yeah, I remember at Brampton, it was crazy. I remember sitting down with Colin Chalk one summer and just talking to him about it. I, new guy in the lineup almost every single night, having to get him up to speed. So, different challenges in different ways.
You also had another guest of ours, or I guess of the show, on your team, Matt Hackett, goaltender, about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, no, Hackett. We'd had a bit of a tough time with goalies that year. We started with Mika Wickman. He broke his hand right at the start of the year. And we brought in Slovakian guy goalie who came in at the start and was good for us. And then a scary incident in Cardiff, and we thought he broke his neck. He got stretchered off, and then what else happened? We actually, initially we had signed Kevin Nastiuk as our goalie coming back from the year before, but due to personal reasons, he pulled out like a week before camp. Then we got Wickman. Then we got the Slovakian kid. And then I think Matt Hackett came in with about 2-3 months left in the season. And tough first night, man. And not on him either. We went into Guildford, which is a tough place to go. So it was his first game, and I think it was 4. He gave up 4 in the first 12 minutes, and I had to get him out of there just to protect him a little bit. But he came good, though. He ended up playing pretty well for us. We ended up playing Belfast in playoffs that year, and we didn't really play that well in front of him. I don't think he had his best nights. And then we decided to just kind of start fresh the year after. And trying to remember it, I think I was talking about our goalie situation on either a podcast or on one of our maybe our team interviews or something. And I think I said something along the lines of, we had a tough year with our goaltending. And what I meant by it was that, we went through 4 different guys, which over here is a lot. Guys were injured. We didn't have any continuity with it. And I think he took it as a personal dig. And I want to say he took a pop at me on social media or something like that, but I'm not too concerned about that, if I'm being honest. But Matt he was a good guy. You know what I mean? I got, again, nothing bad to say about him. Good guy, good person, good goalie.
This was a clip for a full-length show. If you want to watch the full episode of the clip you just saw, click right here. You get the full show, and they go up live every single Sunday. If you want more clips of what you just saw, click right here. You can see the next great hit.